Good morning. Not a lot planned for today pond wise. I've got a few other jobs to do, but I do want to have, well, I'm just keeping an eye on the Ki Utsuri. Hard to see, everyone's in the way. So thanks for everybody's suggestions. I think what I'm going to do, I'm not a fan of salt in the pond unless it's like as a last resort. I have done that before in the past when I've had mega issues years back. So I think what I'm going to do is, if I can get myself a bag of salt today from Booker's, which is literally 5 minutes up the road because we're popping into Lincoln anyway to go shopping, I'm going to get a bag of salt from Booker's and then I'll give it a salt bath and see if that helps. So yeah, not a lot else really I can do with it. I don't want to have to keep getting it out and keep squeezing it to release all the pus and stuff, so that's where it's at really. It's very odd. It's actually looking alright, look. No, there's a few coming back. Not mega raised, but there's a few slightly more raised scales than should be. So I did that in that last treatment on, which was last week's video. I did that on Thursday, and today is Saturday, so what's that, 2 days, and there's already a load of lifted scales, so not good. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do then. Get myself some salt, give it a salt bath, and then see how that goes. I mean, if I have to resort to salt in the whole pond, I will, but I don't really, as I say, I don't really want to do that. It takes a long time for salt to come out, and you can't use formalin or formaldehyde or whatever it is, either of them two. You can't use that if you've got salt in the pond because it's toxic. So where possible, I'm going to try not to do that, but I'm going to start with a salt bath and see how we go. But it could just be that this koi is going to just be causing the issues, which sometimes does happen. But hey ho. I'm going to pop a little bit of food in, as I've been doing. Still at 15 degrees. So I've got the option to get more heat in there. But what that'll do and help, I don't know, because 15 is a reasonable temperature. It's pretty stable for the fish, so who knows. But yeah, I can't keep getting it out, keep squeezing it to make it better until eventually it either gets better or goes kaput, can I? That's not really what fish keep doing. That's no fun, doing that every few days. But again, like I say, it's still happy in itself. It's feeding, swimming around with everybody. Yeah, you can see there's a few starting to raise scales on the side of it. I didn't fish. So God knows what it is. Anyway, so that's going to be my day today. Bit of food shopping, nip into Booker's, get some salt, give it a salt bath, get it back. And obviously because it's a weekend, I'm cycling tomorrow. Yeah! Anyway, right. I'll catch you later when hopefully I'll be back. Sunlight. I'll be back with my... I'll pick the GoPro up and we'll talk through salt bath and the fish. Not that I've done a lot of times. Probably only done it half a dozen times in my entire life. So I've got written down actually the method to do and what I do. So we'll go through that later on. Right, catch you later. Just just got back from a little road trip. So just been to Absolute Koi to pick up salt. The wholesaler that I was going to go to, because I haven't used my account for more than 2 years, apparently they then just delete the accounts at Booker's. Doesn't sound right to me. But anyway, that's what they said. So I need to reapply for an account, which takes up to a week. So I need to apply online and take all my ID and everything in. Anyway, so popped to Absolute, picked up 50 kilos of salt. I'm going to start adding that now. I know I said I wasn't going to salt the pond. I was going to do a salt bath, but I'm actually now going to salt the pond. I think I'm speaking to everybody, either in the comments section and or the koi buddies. Just do it. That's the general kind of what everyone's thinking. So I'm gonna do it. A little bit scary chucking salt in the pond because it's going to be there for a while, but you know, if it fixes the fish, then so be it. So 10 kilo of salt in a 10,000 litre pond will raise the salinity by 0.1%. So I'm going to have it between 0.3 and 0.5 in the pond. So I'm going to probably need a little bit more than that to get it to 0.5, but I've got 2 bags just for now and see how we go. So I'm 3,000 gallons, which is about 13,000 litres. I haven't worked the exact maths out. So I'm going to need probably, to get it to 0.3, what's that, 2 lots of that, 20, 30 kilos. Probably going to need most of that. But I've got a salt meter anyway, so I can keep track of how much salt's in the pond. I'm going to pre-mix some in a bowl, which I'm going to start doing now, and then I'm going to pour some in. I know people are going to say you shouldn't do that, but I've done it before and it's been fine. I'm then going to pour some in as well. Obviously it's going to take a while to dissolve while it's in the pond, so it will bring the salt content of the water up slowly. Hopefully this will fix it. I haven't re-scraped any fish like I said I was going to do. I've just left them. Again, the heat is buzzing away, so I'm still, you know, keeping it at 15. Let's say fishy. But if we can get that fish fixed, I'll be happy. But salt does stay in the water for a long time. The only way of getting out is by dissolving it via water changes, and you need to dilute it by tons to get it all gone. So it's not something you should just do. I know some people do, they chuck salt in to get them through winter and stuff. It's not something I normally do, but obviously needs must now, so I'm going for it. So I'm going to get a blue bowl. I'm going to, as I say, pre-mix some anyway, and then I'm going to pour some in neat, and it'll bring it up and dissolve slowly within the water, and then bring the salinity up over the next couple of days. I'm not sure what the recommended amount is actually. As I say, I have used salt before, and I've had it up to 0.9, 0.8, 0.9, which was scary kind of levels when I had all them problems many moons ago now. But I'm not going that high. As I say, between 0.3 and 0.5 is maximum. We'll get it to 0.3, see how the fish are, and then if needed, get some more salt and get it back up a little bit more towards the 0.5. Right, I'll start getting some of this mix and get some of it in, and then we'll see where we go. Obviously, won't be really anything to report tonight. I'll get my salt pen out tomorrow when hopefully all of the salt that's in the system has had a chance to dissolve fully, and then we'll see where it's at, and then, as I say, I can make a call whether I want to add any more. I will actually work out the amount required to get it to 0.5 properly. I'm just going off what I know in my head. Say 10 kilos per 10,000 litres is 0.1. I don't know how I remember that, just have. But so that I will work it out precisely to get to 0.3 and to 0.5 based on my pond volume, just so I know how much more I do need to put in as a guide, and then use my salt meter to actually get the correct salinity of the water. Gets all a bit technical, doesn't it? Anyway, right, start mixing this in, and then hopefully see some kind of improvement with the fish. I suppose on a plus side, any of the blanket weed fuzz I've got, it'll probably, I think salt gets rid of blanket weed as well off the top of my head. So result there, because I still haven't sorted my bloody UV bulb out. I'm going to sort that next week, I think. Not too bothered at the minute because the covers are on, but I do need to get on top of that, because as we know, as soon as the better weather comes, blanket weed, string algae, green water was just carnage. So I need to remember to sort it. Anyway, right, catch you in a bit. Oh, I'm a bit stiff. Oh, just got back from a big bike ride. Right. So, obviously, put some salt in yesterday. But like an idiot, I didn't go and check my salt meter. The sun's a bit rubbish. The batteries have bloody run out. That's how long it's been since I've used it. So, Mrs. went shopping today. Bought some of the world's most expensive batteries. $7.50 for 4 little batteries. She won the lottery or something. Anyway, so I'm going to check the salt level in the pond now. There is said fish. Looking a bit raised. So I put 1 whole sack in yesterday. Let's swap hands. It's 0.38. So that was 25 kilos of salt to get it to that yesterday. So if I add another half, 0.9. I probably need to add, I'll work it out exactly, I probably need to add about 6 or 7 more kilos to get it to 0.5. But they're all alright. Don't know what the fish think to having salt in there, but you know, obviously it's not for long term, it's going to be short term. We'll just see how we go. So yeah, there's definitely a few raised scales there. Hopefully now this will help some way. Right, let's get the top of this bag lobbed off and then weigh out some more salt and get it in there. Just watching to see if there's anybody flicking or flashing or anything like that. There hasn't been when I've been watching, so but they're probably all circling because I think I'm going to put some food in. As I say, the only thing that alerted me the week before last, to do a scrape was the raised scales on that, the Ki Utsuri. But I hadn't even noticed that. God knows how long it had the raised scales for. I hadn't even noticed that to start with. It was only when it came up for some food that I did see it. I think it's happy in itself. Whether or not it's just a knock or it's an internal issue, I don't know. Hopefully it'll just be one of those things that will just get better with the salt now and just disappear. I'm not going to get it out to re-scrape like I said I was going to do. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to see how we go with this for over the course of the next week with the salt. And then obviously I'll have the mammoth task over the next month or so of trying to get it down to next to nothing. It does take a while to get salt out of the system. Obviously when you're diluting it, you're not taking out what you've put in, you're diluting what's already in there, so it's a bit of a long process getting the salt to go. So that's why if you're going to do a new salt, you should definitely think about the long-term effects of, you know, it's going to be in the system for quite a while, because the only way to get it out is diluting it. You can't neutralise it or just take it out of the system. You could run the pond water through like an RO system or something like that, but what hobbyist has got that option on. Maybe a few people that would pump it through an RO to get it out, or some kind of membrane, but the normal everyday hobbyist, that's not an option. So water changes. Yeah, let's get some more, work this, get this calculated and weigh some more salt out to get it up to another. In fact, I can actually work out the volume of the pond from that, can't I? So I put 25 kilos in and it got to 0.38. That's another scientific way of working out pond volume if you've got an irregular pond, or you've never known how much water's in there. Right, anyway, get some scales, get this done. That's a bit. Here. So, the rough calculation should be another 7 kilos of salt to get it to 0.5. So, I'm actually going to weigh it, just going to use a 1 litre jug. And I'm just going to pour it in. Like that. 1. 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. Now, it's probably going to cause debate that I've done that. But again, one of those things, it's what I've done and done before and not had an issue with it. I know salt can burn fish, but it'll obviously take quite a few hours to dissolve anyway, and then bring the salinity up slowish. I've seen the Japanese do it, just cutting bags of salt pond side and just literally pouring like hundreds of kilos of salt in the pond. So I'm basing it, my method, on Japanese method. But as I say, I've done it exactly like that before when I did salt many moons ago. I didn't have any issues whatsoever, no issues with fish, no issues with shocking the fish with the salt going in. So this is what I've done, not necessarily what I'm saying you should do, but it's what I've done before and it's worked okay for me, so that's what I've done. Just out of interest then, let's see what. Obviously it's gone up a bit. Anyway, so I'm going to shut them up, check on them in a few hours time, go inside and rest my weary legs. Right. And eventually just dissolve itself. As I say, I part dissolved some yesterday and then poured probably half and half, and then poured the rest of the bag in a few hours after. Right, anyway, going inside to rest my old man legs. A bit of work to do. Actually sorted, unbelievably, a digger. I need to go in actually and sort the insurance out for it, because they won't just give you the digger, you can need plant hire insurance or something like that. Not a lot of them, well, all the companies I've been speaking to don't offer that as a service. You have to get it direct through JCB or anyone else. So I'm in to go in and ring the guy and get that sorted, so that'll be here over Easter weekend, so the end of the month, so I can't be even bothered now to do any manual stuff here. So I'm going to have it for Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I think picking it up Monday, and I can get the rest of the hedge out, move all of this rubbish as well, and then start thinking about how much mud I actually need. Probably going to pile it all up here, and then maybe arrange a grab lorry. Might be able to remove a fence panel. I don't know yet, depends how much. I need to finish off here, so I'm going to get this slightly raised with some of the extra soil. Then what I'm going to do here, as we know, I'm going to put in some more of these sleepers along here, but I've now decided, like I've done with that run along the back, there's obviously going to be a gap here, and then I'm going to run another length of it down here, and then plant the top of that, and then this is all flat eventually. A lot to do. And start thinking about getting rid of this fence before that starts growing, which it is. Brilliant. I want to keep that plant, or keep as many plants as possible that are looking like they're going to survive. What's it look like down here now? I've been down here for a few weeks, other than looking like a complete mess. Oh yeah, that's the other reason, wasn't it? It's going to get the bamboo out with the digger, because that is absolutely, in fact there might be two types there. I think there is. So dig them out, dig these out, get all of this mud out, get the rest of this hedge out, and then I can see exactly how much space I've got to play with for the filter room. In mammoth actually, if I go the whole size. From the edge of the pond here, it's got to be 5 metres. Can you have too big a filter room? Don't know. And then I need to arrange Lee to come down and just probably have another measure up, and then tell me how much more money it's costing, because he didn't realise it was going to be quite that big. But we'll see. So a lot to do, a lot of stuff to get rid of. So I think the cheapest option will be a grab lorry. I presume they can just take everything. So I've got all sorts of, I mean, this is just where we dump stuff, because this bit of land, when it wasn't ours, I'd go behind the hedge and just chuck it all in behind the hedge. Bits of rock, bricks, tree stumps, God knows. This is some resin from work. I shouldn't have really put that there. Probably going to end up having a fire, because my mate's been it's been rubbish. It should have been coming down to have a look and help me get rid of the hedge, because we've got a field and we could have piled it up and torched it. So I might get on his case. But all the soil and the junk's the worst thing. But I don't want to bin any until I've decided and used all what I need, filling up the rest of this, and then we'll see where we're at. So a lot to do, but it's finally starting to happen. The weather's a bit better now, makes it a bit easier, doesn't it? I just need the fish to be better, because this is the worry now. They're obviously going to be out in a pond, in a temporary pond, for 2 weeks at least, out on the side here, and I need everybody to be well and fit and looking okay before that. I don't really want to have moving fish into a temporary pool for a few weeks that have got issues, but you know, some of these things can't be helped, so I need to keep them tip top really, as best I can. Finally feels like it's happening at some point very soon. After all this, after all this sort of 12 months, 18 months talking about it, finally getting around to getting it sorted. I'm worried, I'll be honest. Obviously very expensive, and I don't want to be mega short. I mean, obviously got an initial quote, but I'd like to do as much as possible after that, because all this we want paved as well, so all this is going. This will be going, but eventually. But if I could do it all this year, I'll be a happy bunny. And then we can get all that sorted, because all that needs to be burnt. In fact, I'll probably have a fire later, start to get rid of some of this junk. Yeah, exciting times, a lot going on. Anyway, yabbering on. going inside. I'll leave this out so I can use it to check later on. And I'll catch you all in a bit. Goodbye. Welcome to Monday. How miserable has the weather been today? Definitely where we are. It's rained all day. It's been junk. Anyway, right, I've got my salt pen thing. I'm going to test the water, look at the fish. What is said pain in the ass? It's not food! Jesus. There we go, that one a bad calculated guess yesterday. So 0.45, I was aiming for 0.5, maybe I'll get it up to 0.6. Yeah, there's definitely some raised scales again. I'm now tempted. I'm tempted to get it out. I have got some stuff to give it an injection. In fact, I gave it one the other day, which I didn't mention, which I'm now mentioning. I wasn't going to mention, but I've mentioned. Whether or not I'll give it another, it's going to need more than one, isn't it? So, yeah. Debating now. What to do. Having given it one jab, do I just continue with the usual 3 doses? I think in my heart I know what to do. I mean, only reason I'm being a little bit more hanging back is because of years back I was getting fish in and out every day, and it was probably causing more issues than anything else. Just getting them in and out, sedating them, unsedating them, giving them a jab, giving them a scrape, you know, looking at scales, cutting bits off that were bad. I don't want to get back into that habit, but there's no denying that that fish needs something doing to it. I suppose on that basis I should be getting it really out and giving it a top up jab, shouldn't I? What to do? Thanks for everybody, completely not off the subject, but everybody that commented last week with options about what to do. I mean, the only trouble is everyone's got a slightly different way of doing things, and everyone's got an opinion about how things should be done, so it's always quite difficult. I wasn't asking maybe for sort of recommendations from treatment, but it's hard when you're looking at the video, I suppose, to then think if you would do it different to the way I'm doing it. So, but thanks for everyone's comment anyway. I've taken some of it on board, like the salt. Definitely the way forward, I think, hopefully. But it's just whether or not now I'll continue with the jab. I mean, what's the worst that can happen, I suppose? Right, I'm gonna bowl it. I'm gonna give it a jab and give it another look at, just see how bad it is. I might just put some Tamid, or I'm not going to squeeze anything out this time. I'll just let the salt and the antibiotic do its thing. Right, that's what we're doing. Decision made. And then I'm going to top the salt up to 0.6. Don't really want to go any higher than that. Then I'll turn my trickle in up. I'll give it, I don't know how many days, 3 or 4 days, maybe a week. Then turn my trickle up even more. It still is on, so it's always going to be reducing very slightly, minimally. I can turn my trickle in up more. Maybe even do a bit of a bigger dump of water and then just top it up and see where we go from there. Awkward, but hey ho, I need to do something tonight. Alright then, I'll get my stuff together and I'll get it out. So same as before, wait for the fish to go over. Now, just worked out it's been 4 days since I last had the fish out. So I can definitely see some raised scales, loads of them, again, same side. Doesn't look as red as before, but it's still not great. It's nearly done, so I'll take that off. Still this whole section here. And it's not good, is it? Look, all back here. What are you doing to me, fish? Dear me. It's not as bad, but it's not been as long as the second time. This will be the third time I've had the fish out now. In, I don't know, space of 10 days, something like that. Mind you, it is a bit red, it's quite red, isn't it? Not good. So I think I'm going to do what I did before. I am going to ease the muck out gently, tamidine it, jab it, get it back. Just hope we can save it before it goes disgustingly really bad. Anyway, a bit tricky doing this one-handed, so I'm going to put you down. And we'll come back. Sorry if you're a bit squeamish and you don't like this stuff. We're back in a minute anyway. In a minute. So I don't know what went on there. I had a bit of a technical glitch. And my camera was playing up. So I'll just pop the fish back. So, back in, miserable. No, it's okay. Came up, I popped a little bit of food in a couple of minutes back, and then went to get my camera again, and came up for a bit of food. So yeah, again, I'm just going to monitor it now. Said, obviously, another jab. Salt now, I added some more salt, so by the time the rest of that's dissolved, hopefully I'll be at 0.6 or literally just over. So I'll check that probably tomorrow now, it's going to be getting dark soon. So yeah, hopefully now, I don't really know what else I can do for it. But there we go, so that's where we're at. Need to get better fishy. We're living in a paddling pool for a few weeks, you need to be better for that. But again, I watched the rest of the fish, no flicking, no flashing, I can't see any marks or knocks or raised bits or missing bits on any of them. So it is literally just that one fish. Very odd. But it could just be one of them fish, and it just could be some kind of internal issue. I'll never know, will I? Anyway, I'm going to shut them up for the night. The heater's topped the pond up now, temperature-wise. It was on when I came in, it's off now. Anyway, right, going to get some dinner. Catch you later, bye. Day 4 or 3, I don't know what day number it is. Salt check. Just chucked a bit of food in, fish come up. Obviously you can't really tell. .55. That's pretty much where I'm on it. So we'll see. I'll keep it at this dose for probably at least a week. I don't know what the protocol for salting the pond is actually, how long. Everyone's looking happy and alright though, so that's good. There's no ray scales on it yet. It has to be that I had a bit of a dabble with it, so we'll see. I'm just keeping an eye on it now and just keeping the salt topped up to this kind of level. It's had 3 jabs now, so definitely no more antibiotic jabs for it, so that'll be it. This is, you know, this is it now. You just need to look after yourself, fishy. Anyway, right, just got in from work, so I need to go and finish off the paperwork and sort my money out today. There we go. Get me in. Had enough today. The weather forecast for tomorrow's junk. Another wet, horrible, windy day. What's going on? I thought spring was here. Anyway, see you later. So we're at 0.6. And the fish, can't really see because of the sun, because it's a stupid time of day. The fish has still got some raised scales. I'm at a bit of a loss now as to what to do. So it's had 3 bait reel injections, and I've got salt at 0.6. Don't really know. At a loss? Not a clue, especially as it's got a few raised scales and it's not, again, it's not moody, it's not sulking, it's not, you know, keeping itself distant from everybody else. It's up and around, it's feeding okay. I mean, it's a bit hard to see because it is in the water and I'm up here. I'm tempted to get it out, but whether or not that's stressing it out as well, which is doing no good. Yeah, so I've not a clue. I'm also tempted to potentially do a few scrapes on other fish, just to see if there is anything else that I missed from when I did the initial scrapes. But it's a mystery. I'm going to have to probably, because the fish is up and where I can see it, I'm probably going to have to net it just to have a closer look to see how it's looking, because it's not great and it does need more intervention. I'll need to sort that before it gets really bad, but it's hard to see from just here. So that's where we're at. I'm just saying that. Yeah, there's definitely a few raised again. The severity of that, I don't know. So I think what I'm going to do, today's Friday, I've literally just gotten from work, so I'm going to have to get this video edited later on tonight. I think tomorrow, what I'm going to do, I've got nothing planned other than a bit of food shopping. Probably a few scrapes on other fish and have another closer look at that fish, and then see where it's at. There's got to be something somewhere. unless that fish is just unfortunately one of those fish that is going to have a problem, which occasionally happens. So yeah, at a loss. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what people think in the comments. I think I said earlier in the video, appreciated everyone's input last week into sort of how you would deal with it and what you think it is. So we'll see really. Anyway, so thanks for watching this week. I'll catch you next week. I'm not sure what I've got going on. Obviously we're going to have a closer look at that fish. A few more ideas and things happening with regards to the rebuild. Exciting times ahead. And that's it. So anyway, thanks for watching. I'll catch you next week. Remember, thumbs up would be fantastic. I really appreciate it. And if you're here watching and you're not subscribed, remember to hit the subscribe button, please. Anyway,